everyone, welcome back to an academy. This is Deepak VM, ME Structural Engineering AMI. Once again, I'm a verified educator from an academy. So today we are going to see two terms that are associated with the workability of concrete. Those two terms are stability and the consistency. Let's see how both them are significant to the fresh concrete. But before that, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel of the academy. Also follow us to the other platforms like Facebook, app and the website. So let's see what they are. Hello everyone, good to see you. Hope you're having a great day. So we all know that workability is a bit complex to explain, okay, because it is connected to a lot of other properties. That is, its significance is lied on almost a lot of properties of the fresh concrete like mobility, stability, compactability, placeability, consistency, and goes on. So in the previous lesson we have seen two of such properties, that is the mobility and the compactability. So similarly, in today's lesson we are going to see another two of the important properties or important words that are associated with the workability. They are stability and the consistency. So let's see what they are. But before that, let's have a look what actually workability is. So let's see the definition for the workability. So according to IS 6461 1973 part 7, the property of freshly mixed concrete or mortar which determines the ease and the homogeneity with which it can be properly mixed, placed, compacted and finished. So this definition is one of the most familiar definitions for us. If you ask about the workability, this definition shows what actually workability is. So this actually indirectly says that it is the easiness to work with, okay, with the concrete. And also from the page number 17 of IS 456-2000, there is a quote that the concrete mix proportion should be chosen such that the concrete is of adequate workability for the placing condition of the concrete and can properly be compacted by the means available. So this also shows that how significant the workability is for a fresh concrete. Alright, so it says that a designer should choose the ingredients and proportion the concrete in such a way that it should attain the workability for proper placing conditions of the concrete and can be properly compacted with all the means available at that condition. Okay, so that's it. And also we have two more definitions from the workability, that is from ASTM and from ACI. So ASTM C12593 says that the property determining the effort required to manipulate a freshly mixed quantity of concrete with minimum loss of homogeneity. Okay, so that is, it says that a property which determines how much effort is required to manipulate freshly mixed concrete to work with minimum loss of the homogeneity of the mix. And the second one also says that is ACA 11R19 says that the property of freshly mixed concrete which determines the ease and the homogeneity with which it can be mixed, placed, consolidated and finished. Okay, so this definition is almost similar to our definition, that is IS 6461 definition. So I hope you understand what that is. Now let's move on to the actual properties of the day. That is, first and foremost, we'll start with the stability. Okay, so let's start with the stability. Hope everybody are still stable over there. So let's start with the definitions. Okay, so what stability is actually is? It is the ability of the concrete to remain stable, homogeneous, coherent mass without segregation, both during handling and during vibration. Okay, so what it says that it is the ability of the concrete to remain as such. Okay, as such means as homogeneous, as coherent, okay, without going to that extent of segregation during the handling and also during the vibrations. Okay, so this time we have to see there are two terms right here, that is handling and vibrations, which brings us to another two terms, that is the static stability and the dynamic stability. Okay, so what is static stability of fresh concrete? So static stability of fresh concrete is the stability of concrete that possesses during the handling. Okay, and the dynamic stability of the concrete is the stability of the concrete that it possesses during the vibration. Okay, that is the static and dynamic stability. Okay, please note down that it's a Viva question. And so we have the static and dynamic stability and we have the vibration, which says that the traditional method of producing compaction in a fresh concrete is by hand poking. Okay, so what is hand poking? So in the construction site, you have seen that when the concrete is placed, a mason or another labor or someone will be poking the concrete, okay, with the help of a small rod or something like that, which has an end which is bent. Okay, so that method of compacting the concrete with the help of that tamping rod or something is known as hand poking. Okay, but this method is not so efficient. You can understand that because if the poking is not correct, okay, if it is done by an unskilled labor without proper supervision, definitely the mixed proportion will be disrupted, and also definitely the homogeneity of the concrete will be disrupted, which ultimately results in the segregation and the bleeding. Okay, so the best technique for the compaction for the concrete, which is if you want a really good quality, is the vibration. Okay, so vibration provides more efficient compaction because it's quite uniform, it's mechanical, and also it will go deep and will mix the concrete. It will provide the compaction in the entire concrete matrix uniformly. Okay, so that's why it says that vibration is the best method for the compaction process. And there are different kinds of vibrators that are used in today's life. That is, first one is the internal vibrators, second one is the external vibrators, table vibrators, and special vibrators. Okay, so we have seen the external vibrators. Those are the vibrators that we can see on all the construction sites. That means it will be a big tube-like thing. So we'll just put the vibrator nozzle inside the concrete, and hence the vibration is produced. So table vibrators, as you can see somewhere in the flow test. Okay, that's a table vibrator which is electrically connected. And also some kind of special vibrators are there, such as surface vibrators. These are either mechanically or electrically operated, and the vibration rollers are used for thin slabs. Okay, so those are some kind of vibrators used. So generally the concrete must be vibrated as soon as it is placed in a formwork. Okay, in a general process, we must vibrate the concrete as soon as it is placed in a formwork, so that it will flow properly to all the entire formwork sections, and also proper compaction will take place. All right. So however, in certain cases, okay, to ensure good bonding, there is another technique called as revibration. Okay, that means that a layer of concrete is placed, vibration is done, second layer is placed, and again the vibration is done. Okay, why this is done? Because to make the bonding between the first layer and the second layer of concrete perfect. Okay, so this process of vibrating again is known as the revibration. So here we have a chart or a graph which shows the variation of strength due to revibration. Okay, so we have the compressive strength in y-axis and the period before revibration in x-axis. This is in hours and this is in megapascal. Okay, let's see what this graph is. So this line, this consistent line we can see is for the ordinary concrete. Okay, so this is the period just before the vibration, and also this is how the strength behaves before vibration. Okay, revibration actually. So we have the strength right here. It goes up right here, and after 2.5 or some 2.3 hours, the strength goes down. But this is before revibration. Okay, and for the air entrained concrete, I think it can be more consistent even before the revibration. See, the strength goes up, and almost it can hold up till 3.1, 3.3 hours, and then it goes down. So in such cases, the revibration is quite effective. Okay, this is based on a design, and this is based on some of them, and also based on the practical knowledge that we get, or we can see that how much experience we have. So based on the experience in the design, we can understand that if this revibration is required or not. Okay, so that's it for the stability. Now let's move on to the next word or next property. It's called as the consistency. Well, consistency is one of the most important properties. Tell you why right now. So first and foremost, let's see what consistency is. Okay, so consistency is the ease with which the concrete flows. Okay, or it refers to the firmness of the concrete, how firm the concrete is. Which in turns, so how firm the concrete is. So which in turns it refers to the mean degree of wetness. So why? As wet concrete can flow better. So in general case, as we're saying, it refers to how mean degree of wetness, or how wet the concrete is, how easy the concrete can flow. So this is the property that has some of the direct indication to the workability that we all know. Okay, so this is the property, this is the consistency is a property in which we can, by manipulating this, we can actually understand how workable the concrete is. So this is the main reason why, and also I'll tell you one more thing. And this consistency is also relative mobility, or the ability to wet the fresh concrete to flow. Okay, so that's again one more sentence that's based on the same before principle itself. It shows the relative mobility of the concrete. That is how relative the mobility of the concrete is, and ability to wet the concrete, and how ability of the wet fresh concrete to flow. Okay, And again, this is based on the mobility. So hence, this is one of the properties that finally we have a small hook on the workability. So this is the main reason the slum count test is a major test for the fresh concrete, because this is a test that is based on the consistency of the concrete, or it measures the consistency of the concrete, which indirectly or which gives an indication directly to the how workable the concrete is. So this is why the slum test is one of the important tests in the fresh concrete. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for being a good listener. And before that, sorry, we have another tabulation here. This is the tabulation that shows the consistency of mixes used for different applications. Okay, so we have some of the values right here. So we have the consistency is dry consistency. So the slump value will be 0 to 2.5. See, the lower the slump value, the workability will be really, really low. Okay, and also on the flow percentage, that is the flow test, the percentage will be 0 to 20. Okay, so where this is used, this is not waste. Okay, this is used somewhere. So where it is used, these are used in dams and large piers. Okay, now if the consistency is stiff, so the slump value will be somewhere between 12.5 to 72.5, and the flow percentage will be 50 to 60%. All right, in between somewhere. And also these are used for foundation and for small piers. Okay, and the next consistency is a medium consistency. So the range will be 50 to 137.5. So you might wonder why 72.5 and 50 right here, because as the range ends, or we can see the end of the range, the concrete will be showing both the properties, that is stiff and the medium properties. So that's why there is small interlinking or overcoming of the ranges in both the sides. Okay, so here we have the 50 to 100 flow percentage. This is mainly used for the footings. Now we have the wet consistency. So the consistency of the slump value will be 137.5, 200. So the flow percentage will be 90 to 120. It is used in large structure members, beams and slabs. The last consistency is a sloppy one. So the slump value will be really high. That means 175 to 250. Flow percentage will be 110 to 150. These are used in small structure members, thin slabs and small members. So that's all for today. Thank you for listening in. So I hope that this lesson is helpful for you. Thank you once again being a good listener. Please comment your suggestion. Please rate my presentation. Please recommend and share the slides. This is my link to the Unacademy platform. You can see other works that I've done based on the basic constituents of the concrete, about the fresh concrete, about the test of the fresh concrete. Okay, all the basic tests based on all these topics has been explained over there too. You can check that one also. So thank you once again. I wish you a great day. Ciao. See you next time.